Hello, Pisces. This is your love and relationship reading for July 2018. Give me just a few more seconds. The first card is a Ten of Wands. This is a Four of Swords. I have a Ten of Cups reversed. I have a Seven of Pentacles. A Five of Pentacles. The Emperor. Karma. The Chariot. And the Magician. Interesting how you come out with these four major arcana cards straight up through the last row. So I'm gonna try to figure out what those four major arcana could mean, especially since they all came one right after the other. But the first impression I have is what's going on here in the first row. And usually this first row, I usually interpret it as events that are influencing the next few weeks, where you're situated now as you head into the month of July. And so I'm looking at that Ten of Wands next to the Four of Swords. They're an interesting pair because the Ten of Wands, did I say Ten of Swords? This is the Ten of Wands. This Ten of Wands is usually the card of feeling overwhelmed and helpless and even a little bit of stress. And it could also mean being excessively worried, having lots of anxiety. Now, because this is the number 10, it can also mean that you're in the process of transitioning from, there's a situation around you that's changing. You're headed into a new cycle in regards to whatever it is you're worried about, whatever it is that's keeping you up at night. The number 10 is sort of like you're near the end of resolving this issue. You're near a new beginning. And so with this Four of Swords, this is usually the card of retreat, taking time out. And maybe for some of you Pisces people, as far as relationships, these two cards together could be saying things have been really slow going. Things have come to a halt. And that might not necessarily be a bad thing. There are times in a relationship or a time in your love life where things sort of grind to a halt until people can come to a resolution, until they can get on the same page and decide what their priorities are together. So I'm not really surprised that you have another card with the number 10. This is your Ten of Cups, and usually in tarot most people love to see this card when it's upright because this is the card of happiness. Happiness at home, happiness with your partner and your children, happy family, dreams come true. And so with all of this worry and stress and taking time out here with the Ten of Wands and the Four of Swords, then yes, things are still upside down in the relationship. And so For you Pisces, this might be playing out in different ways for you right now. For some of you, it could be a temporary breakup, an argument. You know, you had an argument with your partner or some person that you're dating, and you're taking a time out and things are upside down. And take note, when you do have the number 10 in reverse, I kind of feel like the oracle is saying, okay, you got a 10. This 10 is dominant, the 10 of Wands, being overburdened and stressed out. And so while you're going through this 10 of Wands with the 4 of Swords, things with your love life are going to be upside down for a while. And so then you do come to these Pentacles here. The 7 of Pentacles is about waiting it out. You know, waiting for success, waiting for your harvest to grow and come in, because you see this picture's it's depicting a man who's standing by his garden, and note how he has a wand in his hand. You know, I'm always intrigued with these cards with pentacles, wands, swords, and cups that have a little bit of the element in their card. And so it seems like this wand, which I feel is sort of it's still pointing to that 10 of Wands where you have a lot of anxiety and fears. And so whenever we get that fire, whenever we get that singular wand, remember, it's about using your will and intent and making your own path. It's about power and courage. And so with all the little upheaval here, things really do slow down with Pentacles. Pentacles are a very slow card because they represent the earth. And so you Pisces are sort of like biding your time here and, you know, waiting for a better time to work things out. But when you have this 5 of Pentacles here, this is outside of relationship readings, this is usually the card of poverty, the card of, sometimes it's the card of abandonment. You don't have any resources. No one is coming to help you. And it's also the card of more anxiety and stress. It's about tough times. So a lot of what's going on here with the Pentacles seem to be responding to what's going on up here, that in some of your relationships for you Pisces, you're going through a very slow time. You're transitioning between relationships. Some of you might be doing that. Some of you are going through a rough time with your partners. So the interesting thing here is now this is when these major arcana start coming. And as you know, major arcana are important because the major arcana sort of, they are the meta tarot. They point to the bigger picture of things behind the scenes that are happening in your life, the changes. It's the meta narrative, if you will. These point to the specific details of your life, and the major arcana, they come along to explain why all of these things are happening. So we come here to the Emperor. The Emperor follows these pentacles. The Emperor brings order and structure. And that's a good thing. Sometimes when I look at the Emperor, especially in love and relationships, sometimes the Emperor does bring structure. But the Emperor is also a ruler. He's an authority figure, and you can't get around him. Whatever he says goes. And so these tough times here, the 5 of Pentacles is in the middle of the spread. It's sort of responding to what's going on, whatever is surrounding it. When I see the Emperor next to this 5 of Pentacles, the Emperor is here to say, yes, these are tough times, but you will get through it. There will be order restored. There will be things that will fall into place. And yes, sometimes it means following the rules, that There are situations in our life that come where you have to follow the rules, you have no say in it, there's nothing you can change. So the Emperor does provide structure and responsibility, and sometimes the Emperor is seen as a father figure or a husband. But the Emperor also kind of brings like situations where you can't get around it. You have to deal with it. You have to you have to play with the cards you're given, basically, because the Emperor establishes rules. The Emperor calls the shots. So I kind of feel like some of you Pisces might be in a situation where there are things out of your control about this relationship. And the Oracle is basically saying, you're going to have to work with this situation, but also not let it give you anxiety. You just need to bide your time. And that seems to be one of the stronger messages that's coming to me from these cards, the first 6 cards. So as we head into your future, bam, 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 all of these major arcana cards, big shifts and big changes coming that, once again, as the Emperor sort of warned you or gave you a heads up about, you're not going to have any control over the situation. You do have control, remembering one of these inspirational quotes. You do have control over how you respond to a situation. Okay, and that's something that I feel is really one of the nicest ways to say to someone, this isn't going to change, but how you react to this change, you can resist it or you can accept it and adapt. I feel like the Oracle, with these big shifts and changes in your future, are sort of like saying, just go with it. Don't try to fight it. There's a good resolution on the other side here if you can be fearless and move on. And so when I see that Chariot and Magician next to each other, these are both powerful, forceful cards, because they're both about taking your life, taking control of your life and making your own decisions and breaking away and not being afraid. So when I look at this Karma card following the Emperor, because the Emperor is about rules and structure and change, we also have the Karma card. And the Karma card is all about that a little bit of the karmic will, but it's also called Judgment Day in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. And this means that every decision that you make will determine your destiny. That for good or bad, you're the one who decides how your future turns out, and how you respond to those obstacles and how you respond to those challenges will also determine what the end game will be. So this is a very important transitional card in your future, because I kind of feel that some of you Pisces may be this summer confronting a very big decision, and you're going to have to just go for it. If you go for it, then you get the power of the Chariot. This is about moving forward. And pay attention to the fact that you have the clouds, which are air. This is associated with Gemini. And the clouds are, because they are the firmament, because they're a part of air and water, we have this thinking and decision making and following your dreams. Note how you have this full moon eclipse here, and then you have this crescent moon here. The moon is still here. The moon represents your subconscious. And I feel like you Pisces, because you're so watery and you feel everything and you're strong empaths, I feel like there is also going to be an emotional shift, that you're going to go through an important transition on how you're going to deal with this relationship or what these issues are. So that brings us to the Magician. And as you know, the Magician is very powerful. You have the power of the infinity sign, which means the power so within, so without. It's a manifestation power. You can make anything you want happen. And note how this magician has the wand in his hand. So very interesting. You have that Seven of Pentacles where you have the wand in your hand. You're trying to take control of the situation. You're waiting for a good resolution. And then the Emperor sort of responds here on the other side of this Five of Pentacles. He has his wand too, his scepter, and he's a little bit more powerful than you. This situation is a little bit more powerful than you. But that's when we have this shift in the future to where you decide how you're going to react to this person or this situation or this partner who might be an obstacle, and you are using the power of your choice. Maybe it's to have a discussion with the partner and saying, maybe it's a discussion with someone to where you might decide that you need a timeout, or that you're the one in this partnership who's going to speak up and take control over your own happiness and your choices. So overall, before I put down the outcome card, I see you Pisces people coming to an impasse with a partner. And I think what the Oracle is saying is that you're going to be coming to an important crossroads in your life to where you're going to have to take control of your own happiness and not let this other person or situation take you out of the zone here, as I'm seeing here with those first three cards. Doesn't mean, of course, that some of you are breaking up or leaving a partner behind, but I do see you revising your choices, going back, because the number 7 is all about change, revising, rethinking, reflection, all these little redo, reflect, review. And so when I see this Seven of Pentacles, I'm now starting to see the Seven of Pentacles as some of you sort of taking control over the choices you're making in this relationship, how you're going to respond to that stubborn partner who's always passive aggressive, keeping you waiting. And I see some of you Pisces alone for a little bit, thinking, okay, do I want to stay in the situation or do I not? Because this Five of Pentacles is sort of, like I said, not only is it considered the poverty card, meaning anxiety about money or financial situations, this is about, in the context of a relationship, feeling abandoned and alone and having a partner that's not supporting you. And so a lot of you Pisces people are going to start, emotionally coming to a reckoning about what it is that you want about this relationship. So, shuffling for the outcome card. Okay. And the outcome card is the Lovers. Very nice. The 5th major arcana in a row. So things will come together, one way or the other. But it's up to you. I see the Oracle saying, if you want to change the situation around with your partner or your love life, it really comes down to you. You're going to have to go through a lot. You're going to have a lot of bravery and courage to defend yourself, to advocate for yourself, and to be your own support first. Because I do see this clash of wands here, this, all of these wands about people, fighting over their choices and enforcing their will. So the Lovers is sort of like a little guarantee. Things will come together, things will turn out okay, but you need to sort of make some very brave choices here. And so that was my reading for July. Just a note, consider being a sponsor of a $1 a month sponsor on Patreon. And I kind of will be doing some interesting things like having super chats, providing, free readings. I'm still committed to starting tarot school, to giving tarot lessons. And so people who decide to sponsor me for $1 a month, they'll get access to all of these special events and classes and things like that. So I'm kind of revising my own life where, I'm trying to devote more time to tarot. Also, the video, I have new summer hours. I do have more time for readings this summer, so take advantage of that as well. Also visit tarotbyaire.com. You'll have the opportunity, I revised my webpage to where you can make an appointment. You can also get access to other blogs, lots of other things associated with my services that you might like as well. So having said that, I hope you guys are excited about summer, and I look forward to talking to a little bit more of you over the summer. I've had some ups and downs with my health in the past few months. I am feeling better, but sometimes I do get these little low points to where I have to sort of take a time out. So thank you guys for your support and your concern. I always appreciate it. And as always, I wish you love and light.